up, Luke?
Robert!
What's up, Spencer? What's up, man?
Man, look at that can sticking out tonight. Was the judge chanting moonshots or what? Is that what the band was doing? Man, I'm telling you guys, Aaron Judge got a hold of that one. Man,
that
was fun to watch as far as just a baseball fan, just seeing pure just domination.
The Bronx Bombers, man. That's the
man.
Goodness
hey,
gracious.
Yeah, what happened to when the Giants come to town? It's bye, baby. What happened to all of our we used to be the mashers in baseball. We had Murders Row. We had Cepeda, McCovey, and Mays. Yeah. We had Barry Bonds. We had Jeff Kent. We had Will Clark. We had Kevin Mitchell. We had Jack Clark. We had guys that can Bobby Bonds. Come on, this is a historic franchise that can smoke it out of the park. And now we got to watch Ohtani come in and hit one halfway to
Berkeley.
Yeah. And then Judge puts one
to Treasure
Berkeley.
Island. The Treasure Island.
Treasure Island. I mean, come on. How come we can't get these guys anymore? Develop them
to the Embarcadero. I mean,
golly. I mean, this is embarrassing.
Yes, gangsta. We got Soler.
Yeah.
Oh my God, man.
But Judge hit that baby. And we'll get into this. We'll get into the game, but we'll get into Aaron Judge and what the Giants should have done. I've been tweeting about it and just saying, stop dinking around with all these superstars and trying to match. They're not going to come if you're not anywhere. If you're matching or a little over, you're going to have to massively overpay for some of these guys. And, Aaron Judge would have been the perfect guy to overpay.
And you know what? Here's what I think on that. With people, I would say, well, maybe not Harper. Soto and Stanton, I could see them doing it about the money, right? I could see them not really having loyalty to the team. Judge, I think, though, he was 100% a Yankee. Nothing was going to keep him from being a Yankee. I don't think it was for him. I don't think it was about the money. It was about he just wanted. They're the ones that drafted him. The Giants could have drafted him, but they drafted him. They believed in him. They wanted him to be there. It's just he wanted.
I think you're right on that. I don't think they probably could have pried him away, but you could have made the Yankees pay for it.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
you could have. So that the next free agent that comes up,
right,
like Soto, maybe they think, well, shoot, we can't pay two guys $50 million plus, because Judge is going to look very underpaid next year. He already is.
He already is.
He already is. But next year he's going to be like, wait a minute, Soto's making way more than me. God, but that's where the Giants lack vision, because they knew they wanted Judge. They put a full court press to get Judge, but then they didn't put a big enough offer that the Yankees couldn't match. There's a possibility the Yankees wouldn't have matched at $500 million because Michael Kay, the Yankees announcer, during the
broadcast,
not during the broadcast, but during that free agent frenzy of he was saying, he goes, I don't know if the Yankees will. There's a limit they will go to. And you remember the Yankees offered a lowball Judge in the beginning of the season, and he rejected it and went to free agency and hit 62 homers that year. He bet on himself. Right. So the Yankees paid way more than that they were originally looking to pay him. So had the Giants gone to something like $500 million, it might have just been like, hey, that's a way overpay for us. Because remember, they went from 300 and something to 360.
Right.
They came up. But had it been $500 million, it might have just been like, that's way out of our league. At the time, it would have been an enormous offer.
Right. Oh, yeah. No doubt.
And that's really what the Giants have the money. So, don't let the Giants ownership fool you and say they don't have the money and all that. There's no cap in baseball. There's no cap. Okay. You just get
They're
that guy in your ballpark.
Team, man. They're the 5th richest team.
Yeah. You put that guy in your ballpark and you see the excitement, what he brings. I mean, that was fun. That was electric. And
Yeah,
it was really fun for a guy by the name of Will B. I don't know if Will B is in here tonight.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure he is.
Sure, he was enjoying that
With
home
2
run.
bombs, yeah, no doubt about it.
But, Giants totally they just the next superstar that comes up, and forget about Juan Soto. You're not going to be able to get him.
He's not coming here.
But a guy like Judge, who was from the area, who grew up as a Giants fan, you had to just jack that thing way up because you were bidding against the Yankees. What you did is you just bid enough to let the Yankees match. You had to see, this is where they fall so short. They're stupid. They're dumb. They're realtors. They're real estate moguls.
100%.
They're not
100%.
baseball people. They're not.
Larry Bear proved it last month. They were on a broadcasting a baseball game. He went on TV and on the radio talking and hyping up Mission Rock. Wasn't talking about the team, talking about what was going on across McCovey Cove. That just tells you right there where their priority is. Come on, man. Ridiculous.
Yeah, totally. So, I mean, so it's kind of crazy. 49ers have stars, the Warriors have stars, the Giants are starless, and that's why nobody cares. They couldn't even sell out the Yard tonight with the New York Yankees.
Yeah,
in town.
what was that?
There's Lou Marston.
It's Saturday night. How did they not sell out?
We ought to have Lou come on in and talk about it. If you want to join us, you don't have to. You've been on the screen before. Lou, let us know if you want to come in and talk about what's going on at the ballpark, what's going on with season ticket holders.
First-hand account of what's going on there at the park, yeah.
Let me know, Lou. Either text me or put it in the chat if you want to come in tonight.
Let's get into the game. Oh, I like it, Tien.
Hey, Tien,
the game was my butt crack.
Should we need to bring Tien on. He said he wanted to come in. Sure, I think, yeah. Tien, you want to take one more crack at it, Tien?
Oh, man. You could come on here and let it rip. Real quick. Let's go ahead.
Touch the game. Yeah, the game was over. Webb. I thought the game was over after. Yeah. I really did after the home run. I didn't think
made it close.
They did, but
then Logan Webb, man, what's up with him, Dan?
I don't know, but I bought the trade analyzer thing tonight, and I don't know why. I'm gonna see if I can log into this thing.
You bought it?
It led me. I want to make some trades, man. I am serious. The Orioles lost 2 pitchers, right?
Yeah, I was telling you about that yesterday. The Tommy John, yeah. Means and somebody else. I can't remember who it was.
It was. Yeah, I just read it. I don't know. Let me see if I can sign in here and get into this thing.
All right, bear with us. Dan is trying to use technology, so just bear with us.
Yeah, bear with us. Yeah. Go ahead and let's cover the game.
Yeah, so you got Logan Webb. I mean, I don't know what's going on, but boy, that was rough. Granted, he kind of locked it in, after the 4 runs. He was better. But man, the damage is already done. And then you got a lineup that's pretty anemic right now. You scored 3 runs today. 3 runs isn't going to get it done against a team like the Yankees. So I don't know what's going on. And well, here's another thing.
They haven't updated the account yet. They're stuck with me. I can't use it yet. How sad is that?
God. But what I found interesting too, this is along the lines with Webb, but not really have to do with Webb. Why did Melvin have him go out there and throw over 100 pitches when the game? Yeah, I mean, you could have brought in a bullpen at that time, but in New York, he doesn't allow him go out for the 8th inning.
Yeah.
Because I guess the bullpen is that weak, I guess. I
The
don't know.
bullpen's wiped out. Look at the Yankees are fresh because they got guys that go deeper into the game.
Right. And
They
you only
got
have to have relievers come in for 1 inning and they're done. They don't have to do multiple innings.
Yeah. So it's tough. But tonight,
I mean, is Webb is it just a bad? Can we just chalk it up to a bad outing, or is it something going on? Is the league starting to figure him out a little bit? Maybe.
When he puts that ball up.
Yeah, when he keeps that ball up, yeah, makes
when the ball is up, it's not hard to hit that ball when it doesn't sink when it's up. And
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's the Yankees, but those are the teams you have to face. If you want to go anywhere, Johnny, those are the teams you're going to have to beat. Right? Those are the teams you're going to have to beat.
Yeah, I mean, I personally, the Orioles are ready to win. They need pitching. I've said this before, and I know it isn't popular. I would try to package. I would package Webb, Duvall, Luciano, and grab me Jackson Holiday.
I don't think they get rid of Jackson, though.
I think they might consider it for that haul.
Think so?
That gives you a top closer in the game, a top pitcher, and a top prospect. Come on.
They already have a top closer. He's just hurt right now.
Yeah, alive. Send Snell to the Orioles. I agree. I would try and, you know what? The Giants need to wake up and realize they're not a championship team and start moving off of these guys. Yeah, Tien, we'll have you on here in a little bit. I'm going to have Lou Marston come on, and then you can join us after that. Let me see if I've got Lou's email still.
And then how about Casey Schmidt? First game since being back. Has 2 hits. A big 2-run shot. That was a nice home run. He knew it.
And he went to right field 0-2 on that base hit.
Yeah, that was a beautiful base hit. Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, but that home run was nice. He knew it right after he hit it. So it's good to see him up here performing. Unfortunately, the rest of the lineup, not so much. I think they got, 4 hits tonight? 4 hits, Lou, and he accounted for half of them.
Lou, if you're out there, I just sent you the link to your email, to your work email.
That Matos fielding it, that was pretty rough.
Yeah,
it didn't cost him a run, but it was rough.
Yeah, he tried to shoestring it almost, and he just didn't get his glove down in time.
Yep,
and
that was rough. I mean, I give him credit; he was hustling for it, but yeah, that was pretty bad.
Yeah, the team is.
They lost. I told you last night. Remember, I was like, it seems like they have lost whatever that momentum they had. They had momentum in New York, had momentum against the Phillies, and now it just seems to be just gone.
Well, gone. I'm going to tell you, I think a lot has to do with the way they treated Matos. I mean, Luciano. I really do.
I think a lot of it has to do with losing Wade. I think he was like,
oh, yeah, Wade is huge.
That is a huge loss.
They have not scored since in the 4 games he's been down. So, yes, losing Wade, and then the whole thing with Luciano. But you know what? If you're Farhan, you got to jump and start making moves. You can't afford to just go into a rut. Wade's going to be out for a month, minimum. I think he might be out for 6 weeks.
He's making moves, all right. He's making moves. He's making some moves.
Oh, Slater went 2 for 4, huh?
Yeah, look at that. Ahmed 0 for 3. Conforto 0 for 2. He's making moves.
It doesn't matter. Those 3 are all coming. All 3 of those guys are coming up.
They're coming. Guys, we've been saying this for a long time.
All 3 are coming on.
They are coming. Whether you like it or not.
Let's give an intro. Let's get the crowd cheering. Let's get the big roar. We got the man. We got San Francisco's finest. The man who is on top of the sporting world with what's happening in the sports entertainment world. You need tickets to any event. This is the man that can get you these tickets. We bring in Lou Marston.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Lou, hold on 1 second. Dan, can you text him? Let him know he's got to mute his mic, or mute the not the mic, but mute his speaker.
Mute.
With some massive feedback going on there. If he just mutes it on YouTube, he should be good.
Okay, here we go. Let's see.
All right, let's try now. Are we good?
We good, Lou? Mute your speaker there.
Can you guys hear me now?
Oh, there we go. We're good.
There we go.
Awesome.
All right. So, Lou, you why don't you tell people, if you want to, what do you do for a living? What's your role in the sports world? And tell us about your long time history of being a season ticket holder.
Sure. I work for a sports hospitality company, and basically what that means.
Oh, we got the echo again. Is your something else on because we're on a little delay with YouTube? Is a TV on or
all you got to do is mute your speaker, and that's all.
Can you hear me now?
We hear you fine, but are we hearing ourselves?
I'm having trouble with you. All right, let me redo it, and I'll call you right back.
All right,
okay,
that's good.
Okay.
All right, cool. We'll get the technical issues figured out. He just has to mute the speaker. That's all he's got to do. If he's got the stream on his laptop, all he has to do is mute it, and then it won't reverberate back through and get that feedback.
Oh, okay. All right. So, so the Giants tonight, Casey Smith was, the star of the hitting. Matt Chapman went 0 for 3 with a walk and 3 strikeouts.
Ramos had 3 strikeouts.
Matos 0 for 4. Ramos 1 for 4, 3 strikeouts, but he got a hit.
Yeah, he got a hit.
And okay, he says he figured it out. Let's bring him back in.
All right, there we go.
We got it.
I can hear you guys good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're good now. We're good. I don't hear any echo. We're good.
Sorry about the echo.
It's all good.
Basically, what I do is I help companies entertain their clients out at major sporting events. One of the other things I do is I'm a Giant season ticket holder. My family's had tickets since New York. And to tell you the truth, I'll just be real brief and then we can talk about the game. I'm a little disappointed in the crowd. Last night, maybe 32,000. Tonight, I didn't go to the game. I'm going tomorrow, but there were a lot of empty seats. And they also had the giveaways, which is really bad. So I think, this is the Yankees. It's a Saturday night game, right. No competition, a giveaway, and they weren't even close to being sold out. I watched the game, and even the broadcasters are saying, all they didn't talk about the crowd. They just talked about how good the shirt that they gave away. It was a Hawaiian shirt.
Exactly. Right. It was a Hawaiian shirt today.
So I'm a little, and then tomorrow they're giving away the Lamont 100 splash hit, and they're not even close. It's like the same amount as Friday. There's probably 5,000 to 8,000 seats that you can still get. Bleachers are selling good, but the majority seats behind the lower level. Of course, the third level doesn't sell. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. And you got to remember, this is Phillies and the Yankees, and they didn't have any sellouts. What are they going to do when Houston or Pittsburgh comes during the week? It's going to be bare. And, I think, Dan brings up a good point is, these games are great watching the opponents, but watching the Giants, they've come back, sort of stale. And I think them missing Lamont is a huge, huge thing. He was our number 2 hitter. If you remember, he was the only guy that got on, but nobody could knock him in when Matt Chapman wasn't doing well. Right. Now we have Yaz, who we wanted, to tell you the truth, to DFA for a while. He can't hit in the clutch. And again, Solar tonight finally got a hit, but it meant nothing in the 9th inning.
It wasn't even a hit, though, right?
Yeah,
It was a hit down the line where you got a double.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
But it's just come to the point now where, I don't know, and the reason why last night after I got home is some guy at the Giant game kept saying MLB Tonight kept talking about the trade. We don't realize who we're trying to get is a superstar, but Baltimore has no room for him. He's in the minor leagues. He's trying to recover. They've now lost 2 pitchers. They're worried about their reliever who, is back on the DL. I think the Giants right now, I've been saying this for a while, beginning of the season, until maybe the All-Star break, our schedule is tougher than last year.
Yep.
And, I think if we look, our road trip was at the right time. But since we faced Pittsburgh, unless they have their stud going, they're like 4-12 since the Giants met them. The Mets, we all know about the Mets. I mean,
they're a mess.
One time we're 8 games over 500. They're now 10 under. I mean, they have guys throwing mitts into the stands. It's a total fiasco. I think the other big thing is here's Webb again, RA supposedly. Giants are 4-10 in his 14 starts. When your ace is 4-10 in 14 starts, that's a problem, especially with us not really sure knowing who our number 2 pitcher is.
You can get value for him because he's signed, he's good, and he would be good on a team like Baltimore or the Yankees or a team that scores runs.
So you're talking about blowing it up then. It's blowing it up.
I'm just a little bit worried.
I would blow. Why would you not blow it up at this point? Yes.
But
can you make the playoffs? Can you make the playoffs with this roster? It's possible. But
you're going to we're going to need to make changes because we have, Slater coming up and we have our other Conforto coming up. What we're going to do is we're going to be back in the same mode where we're going to take all our youth, put them back again.
Yep.
Either we got to do one of 2 things. Either keep the youth or we play the people with that Farhan signed, and then we got to trade the youth to try to get better. Because right now we're 3rd out of 5 in our division, and that's it. And we're being gracious.
And if you trade the youth, the biggest mistake I think they could do is trade all the youth guys like Schmidt, Matos, Ramos, Luciano. Trade those guys for rentals, because then you're really in trouble. Because the odds of the Giants actually even getting to the NLCS is probably, I don't know, I'm not an odds maker. I haven't
3%.
looked at the odds, but probably 3%. Yeah. And getting to the World Series, it's probably like 1-2%. And winning it, come on. And who wants to just get to the playoffs and lose?
Remember how the playoffs used to be, Dan? You had to earn it. Now it's like hockey. Almost everybody makes the playoffs except
I don't like that. And here's the thing. I'll preface this. If you're going to blow it up, the first thing you got to do, fire Farhan. I do not trust Farhan.
Oh yeah.
In doing a quote unquote major rebuild. So if you're going to blow it up, that means getting that cleaning everything.
Bring in a first-class, experienced, proven veteran winner. Bring back Sabes and Coletti as a pair to put the thing back together, and groom Buster Posey or somebody else.
Someone who knows to do this. Come on, man. I'm tired of it. I'm tired.
I know Sabian knows how to pull talent. He knows how to find
he does.
talent. Yes. I mean, why? Because he's one as a top scout with the Yankees. I mean,
yes, he was.
I mean, look at all the guys he signed at the Yankees. He was hugely responsible for getting Derek Jeter. I mean, he's the guy that made the trade for Jeff Kent, and he said famously, "I'm not an idiot," right?
Yeah.
I mean, look how well that trade turned out. I mean, they won the division. They went from 98 losses in 90 or 94 losses in 96 season to a division title in 97. And then they were competitive throughout, all the way till 2004. And then they had the downturn. But what did he do in the downturn? He drafted Kane. He drafted Lincecum. He drafted Posey. He drafted Belt, Crawford, Mad Bum.
But you know what you're saying, Dan? There's a couple of things that I want to touch on in there. Sabian has the ability to change direction where it's needed. When he first came here, he realized they didn't have the youth or the farm to be able to produce. So he went after free agents and he traded. He did that. That's how he built the team. Then once he got his, both hands in it, he's like, now I can start drafting and I can build my team that way. So he knows what to do. He's a baseball guy. He knows what to do. And the problem is Farhan's stuck in one way and there is no other way. It's the Farhan way or nothing. And that's the problem. You can't do that. You cannot build a team doing that.
Farhan's not used to building a team.
There you go. Perfect example.
Farhan was not a baseball. He was a computer guy, programming. We saw that little video when he was with the A's.
He's a computer guy. He majored in economics.
He charted where balls went because he was building a software program to show where he's the invention of the card in the back pocket for the ball outfielders. That's the guy that's what Farhan and a whole generation of nerds has come in to the game. And
hell, Snell's got one in his pocket that he uses every damn time. He throws them after every pitch. He looks at a card. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Do you not know your competition? Whatever.
And then, hey, Dan and Eric, one of these days when the Giants are off, I always try to think of a topic for you guys. We could go over of who Farhan has picked up this year. And maybe I'll give, I think I'll give maybe one B out, but the rest are all C minuses and below.
That's how he operates.
It's kind of the point where it's everything he's picked up hasn't turned to gold. It's been a nightmare. And someone's got to be held responsible.
And somebody it does. In sports and in business, people have to be held responsible. And whether it sounded like a good signing at the time, it's still a results-oriented business. And if guys aren't producing...
The problem is we're always being safe. We picked up Snell at the very end.
Right.
Yeah.
We picked up Solar was our first. We pick up all these guys sort of at desperation, but they're bad moves to begin with. If you've been following this show, everyone knows who we were excited about and who we're not. We still have the same, as I call them, the same bums that are on the team from the last 3 or 4 years that we didn't want. One of the biggest problems is, if you watch tonight, our middle relief is not the same as it was last year or the year before. It's become a nightmare, and we got to do something to try to get that up because, I think when your ace loses on that day, it's almost worth 2 losses. Robert on this, tomorrow, hopefully we get the old Snell, but we might not get Snell.
No.
Right now it's got to the point where I think our batters think we have to score 5 or 6. We have to make sure we play flawless or we're going to lose.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's where, before you know it, it's going to be a 7, 8, 10 game losing streak.
Well, here's the problem with Snell tomorrow. You've got Judge, Stanton, and Soto, and
Volpe,
and a couple other right-handed guys that will be, frothing at the mouth to get. Here's the big deal with Snell. He gets behind in the count and has to come in.
Yep.
And if he doesn't come in, he generally doesn't throw his stuff for strikes because he's trying to get balls in the dirt to get you to chase.
Mm-hmm.
So he does that with 2 strikes. But if he's got 3-1 counts, he's going to have to come in.
Yep.
And this is a problem. This is a big problem. And Snell's got to earn his money tomorrow. He's going to have to pull I
like this comment. Ed Zontar, 2 weeks ago, Giants are going nowhere. 1 week ago, Giants are a playoff team. We never said they were a playoff team. And it says now Giants are back to being nowhere. NCSN is a roller coaster ride. Kids or no kids.
I say play the kids.
To be honest with you.
Never changed. Play the kids.
To be honest with you, we're identifying what the team is doing. Before they brought the kids up, how was the team playing, right?
Boring.
Exactly. When the kids came up, how was the team playing? There's a lot of excitement, and not only was there excitement, they were winning. Now that the kids are not being played as much, well, some of them, then it's going back to boring baseball.
Look, they were. Let me pull up the standing.
Not only that, the starting pitching is not really been up to stuff. Look what Harrison's done. Look what Snell has done. The fifth position in the rotation, whoever that may be, it's a mystery. Week to week, you don't know who the fifth starter is going to be.
And Eric, our pitchers go in the fourth and fifth inning, and all of a sudden, it's like they run out of gas.
Yeah,
yep.
It's amazing. It's it's tough because and when was the last time the Giants have really had a lead? It always seems Yankees, we've been losing. But Philadelphia, we won one game in the ninth inning. We never got a lead.
Good point. There was a lot of comfort, especially on that road trip. A lot of comfort.
Yeah, on the road trip, we had come back 4 straight nights.
Exactly.
And again, maybe we might have gotten lucky against those teams. But it's you do that throughout a month, you're not gonna come back at all. And before you know it, we're gonna be 8 games below 500. I just hope this isn't the start of June swoon.
Yeah, the last start. The last start Marco Luciano had prior to, on the road was Friday night, May 24th against the Mets. Giants won 8-7. Marco went 3 for 4, and he made that one error, I think, in the ninth inning or whatever. But the Giants still won. That moved the Giants to 8-1 in games Marco was in. When he 8-1. Since then, they're 3-4. And now Wade's missed 4 of those games. So that's huge. I'm not saying Marco was the reason, but you can't have too many changes to your lineup to the momentum of what was going well. Mm-hmm. Yes, Marco was struggling. And so you gave him a day off on Saturday, the 25th. And then Sunday, Minaya came out. They lost that game, but Marco was on the bench. Marco might have made a difference. Hey, Greg, we'll see you later.
No, he's playing. He's being sarcastic.
That's sarcastic?
Yeah, he's playing sarcastic.
I don't get that.
He's being sarcastic. Trust me. That's what Greg is. He just does that. If he does it again, I'll boot him.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Believe me.
I know how
if he said that to you, I don't think you would.
No, I would have messed with him.
Yeah. I've got other mods in there if you want to, whatever. But Luciano,
D-shot. Yeah, I agree with Greg. They're just messed. They're just. Greg's just frustrated because the Giants suck.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm not saying Marco makes the difference that they win these games or not. I'm just saying you changed the whole feeling that the youth was bringing to the club, and then you lost Wade, and now you down with Luciano, and the club knows what's going on with the whole thing with Luciano. They see it. Yeah. They see that this. I don't think he's got a
okay.
Hit.
Hold on. Here we go. Dan, you're hitting on something, because who did the broadcasters bag on at the end of the game today?
They bagged on Elliot Ramos.
Yes, they did. They said, "Oh, he's got a lot of swing and miss. We thought he was going to be coming out of it. Look, he was on the verge of doing something good or something to that effect." And then they say he's got a lot of swing and miss. And then their closer, Clay Holmes, who's one of the best closers in the game, throws the guy a freaking 99-mile-per-hour sinker at his freaking damn near right at his knees. And then he goes, "Oh, yep, there's a hat trick." It's like, come on, man. What are you?
And who hit the hat trick earlier tonight in 3 key moments?
That would be Matt Chapman.
Yeah. Did they? And what is Matt Chapman hitting? 234.
234. Got it.
What
is Elliott? Or I said Elliott. What is Elliott batting?
278.
Excellent. Is he playing some excellent defense as well, just like Chapman?
Yep.
Okay. Got it.
So
So why are they bagging on? Why? So tell me, why are the broadcasters bagging?
let me
on
tell you
Ramos?
why. Let me tell you why. Because there's a edict that has been sent down from the front office to start downplaying these young guys because
That's what it
we're
sounds
getting ready to bring up Slater, Conforto, and
And Ahmed.
Ahmed, and they
100%.
don't want they want to paint a picture that these guys are not ready for the big leagues on a full-time basis. I guarantee it. That's what's happening. And you can hear it in the broadcast. You hear it. These guys are paid by the club to speak for the club as the club directs them. They are nothing more than just like the White House press secretary.
Yeah.
Hey, Dan, when was the last time you watched a Giants game and not once but twice they talked about the AAA affiliate starting lineup? They even showed the starting lineup twice. Yeah,
Yes.
there you go. There's General. I sort
they
of like
showed
General,
that.
Grand Admiral here because two things. He's complaining about Kruk and Kipe, who are gotten so out of control, and Fleming. They all keep talking that the Giants are a playoff team. They got a great team. There's no flaws. There's no nothing. It's like, come on, guys. You got to be realistic. You got to realize that fans are listening to you, and we're just as smart as you. And I think Eric brought up a great point, and he brings this up every week. Farhan's doing the starting lineup.
Oh.
There's been way too many changes and too many strange instances that a great manager who's on his third team in the last 10 years would put the lineup that's out.
Exactly. At first I thought it was Melvin. And Los, I'll give credit to Los. He's the one that's been saying it from the beginning. He's like, hey, I think Farhan's making the lineup. I'm like, no, it can't. Not with Melvin. The ilk of Bob Melvin, you would think, no, there's no way. But I think Los is right. I think
you
Farhan
think Melvin's
is
putting Trenton Brooks in as your DH? Why not have Patrick Bailey be your DH and have Casale catch?
He's our best hitter, Bailey.
Yeah. Why? I mean, as a right-handed pitcher,
switch. He's a switch hitter, so it doesn't matter right or left.
Yeah, and he hits better lefty, and they started a righty. Why not have Bailey as your DH? Why not have, if you're going to have Brooks be the DH and play Flores, why not play Brooks is the better defensive first baseman at least. Why not put him at first and have Flores DH? It makes no sense.
Yeah. Dan, do you remember on the road trip, we had Solar leading off?
Yeah.
Which made no sense at all. And then we've had Yaz batting eighth the whole season. Now he's batting second. Yep. And the other thing, too, is, Dan, I know you and me speak a lot during the games. Why can't we just try to hit singles? Every one of our guys, I've never seen a team fly out midway to the outfield or on the warning track. It's like everyone's trying to hit a 3-run homer when they're up solo. Put a couple things together. Look at the Yankees tonight. Yeah, they got the big hits, but they scored on a sacrifice fly after 3 hits with 2 outs. We don't do that anymore. It's just basic baseball. And I think the other thing, the Yankees have great starters, great relief, clutch hitting, and big studs in their lineup. We don't have any of the 4.
We have, exactly. I think the Giants should really consider looking to make some moves. And you can say, it's really early. Don't panic. They're a game under 500. They're right in the thick of the wild card race. But always remember, buy low, sell high.
What is it, 7 weeks till the trading deadline? Are we going to wait until 7 hours before we actually can do something early?
No, he usually waits about 59 minutes before the end of the deadline. Or something like
I don't understand. Yeah, Farhan does not make moves early, but I'm telling you, there are teams like Baltimore out there.
Florida, Miami.
Yeah,
the
Miami. Yeah, they'll trade, and Baltimore's desperate. Why not go big and get imagine if you can still keep Luciano as a bat in your lineup and you gave up a couple of guys off your roster and got a Jackson Holiday and built around the kid. it would be pretty exciting for the future. The kid's 20. He just turned 20, in fact. Why not go get that? Or if you can't get Jackson Holiday, then you shouldn't have to give up as much, but you can give up a starting pitcher and go get Colton Cowser, a power hitting outfielder for the Orioles. Or there's other players. They have an incredible farm system. If you don't want to give up Webb, you might be able to get rid of Snell right now. The Orioles are playing to win the World Series this
right now,
year.
and they need a closer. I think Eric brought up a great point last night. Eric, I didn't get a chance to write it on there, but you brought up a great point. We got Solar, but the Florida Marlins had no power willing to give him up for nothing. And what do? We sign him for 3 years.
3 years.
$14 million a year, even though he had 198 strikeouts last year. And we were remember last year, we led the league in strikeouts.
Yep.
And
you signed Chapman, who's a strikeout guy as well. And here, I'm glad you brought up Soler because this is a segue I wanted to go to. How much longer, guys, do we give Soler? Do you give him till end of June?
He got a double though.
Oh, get out of here!
That gives him a week.
You know what? And that's what we're going to hear tomorrow. Soler's starting to find his swing. It's only a matter of time. Yeah, we're hearing June 1st, and he's finally finding his swing. Get out of here.
I just want to point out, I'd trade Snell, Webb, Duvall, Jelly for, yeah, exactly, Morkatna. I think the same thing. I would just start getting Baltimore prospects.
I look at Baltimore, the Cincinnati Reds prospects, these teams that are upcoming that have too many prospects and they don't know where to go.
Yep. And it's comments like this. Let me just kind of point this out. You got Walker Martin, no on Jackson. Let me tell you something. Walker Martin is what Luciano was a few years ago. We kept hearing, no, we got Luciano coming. Walker Martin's 3 to 4 years away minimum. You can't count on guys that are 3 to 4 years away and base your future when you can build with. You're never going to have enough prospects. Always add prospects because you can always trade if you have an overabundance. But how many Giants prospects have we heard that are coming that never panned out?
Brown, he's that superstar.
Yeah, Von Brown. Gosh, yeah. I mean, guys,
Christian Arroyo. I mean, we've named them all before. Yeah. I mean, it's just.
Yeah, you can't base it on Walker Martin and saying no.
Tyler Beatty.
Walker Martin. If you got Jackson and Jackson hits, and all of a sudden is a star player, and Walker Martin's a star too, guess what? You can find another position for Walker Martin because if he could play short, he could play second. That's how you move, guys. You don't just say, well, we got one guy here and we're just not going to add any more because why do you think the Giants drafted like 4 or 5 shortstops in this last year's draft? They're hoping one of them hits.
Well, not only that, when you draft shortstops, they're easy to move because that's the toughest position in the field other than catcher.
Well, yeah, and they can play other positions. Exactly. They're versatile and they're also trade bait if they hit. So yes. You draft shortstop. Every international pick is either a catcher, is a catcher or a shortstop.
Yep. Pitcher, catcher, shortstop.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know.
Frederick Weaver says Holiday is an FV70 on Fangraphs, which means 170 of surplus. They wouldn't trade him for our entire starting. Yeah, probably right. The way our damn starting rotation is, they probably wouldn't, to be honest with you. They probably wouldn't.
Yeah, like I say, you may not be able to get Holiday, but you could go out and get a Cowser. You could get
Kobe Mayo.
Yeah, there's Kerstead. There's got other guys that are in the top 100. But
and remember, Holiday's still in the minor leagues.
Yeah, he is.
All right, because
he hasn't proven it at the big league level yet.
Process, So I just think it's something we have to throw out. I think the problem with the Giants, 2 things. 10 years ago or 12 years ago, Buster gets injured. So what do? We have to make a trade.
Zach
the
Wheeler.
Unfortunately, we traded a youth baseball arm who's a stud now, but we had to go for it. I think that's the other thing.
Yeah.
Our old general managers went for it.
They went for it.
Always are
Yes.
safe.
Yeah.
You know, hey, we need a new manager. Let's get someone that, has been successful in the past. He's local. Let's be safe. It's gotten to the point now, and maybe that's why the fans are getting smart. Why see stale baseball? Why go when the Giants really haven't done anything? They haven't really gone for it. It's always about safe. And I think earlier tonight, you guys brought up a great thing. I think it was Eric. Who cares about what's happening at Mission Rock? When you're a baseball fan, you want to know about the Giants. You don't give a damn about Mission Rock.
Right.
You want to know why the Giants are below 500. Why are we not competing? What are we doing with the money? Why is Farhan still here? That's what the fans want to hear. They don't care about Mission Rock. It means nothing to them.
Well, you're a local San Franciscan. You've been in the city for what?
All my life.
All your life. Okay.
Born and raised.
So you're born and raised in San Francisco. Families had season tickets. You've got 4 tickets right now down by the Giants dugout.
Yep.
And you've had them for years. And you know exactly what's going on with the season tickets. They used to announce they had 28,000 season ticket holders. Now they say their policy, we don't announce our season ticket holder. Why? You used to announce it.
Yeah, it's bad. In fact, when you call the main number, the 972-2000.
Yeah.
Dan, before, I think it was until second week of the season, they don't have an operator, and they were still working like it was COVID. That's embarrassing. COVID has ended 4 years ago. You can't even get an operator. The problem, too, is being a season ticket holder like you used to, Dan, they demand to get their money in September.
Yep.
Once March and April, and they realize they're not selling anything because they've lost so many season ticket holders, 501. They did the thing, the 100th splash hit. So if you buy, we'll give 2 tickets for Father's Day. They did the same thing on Mother's Day. 2 tickets for $98. I mean, these tickets normally are 100. Now you're doing 2 for 1, and you're still not selling.
Right. Right.
And I'm just thinking, the Yankees, the first time they've ever come here on a weekend, first time ever, and they're not sold out. It's bad. And you got giveaways. I mean, tomorrow, you got another bobblehead. Today you had that shirt. That place should be jammed. Should be the toughest ticket in town because there's no competition. Warriors aren't playing. There's no other sports teams. There's no other concerts. And they're just not filling it. I mean, they're doing, 80% is still great. But, it's like, wait a minute.
Well, how are they doing that 80%, Lou? Are those a lot of giveaways? And
no, except for the Yankees, they're now doing, the 2-for-1 tickets. They still have tickets this weekend where if you buy any ticket for $48, you get a free one, the third level. I mean, it's bad. I mean, today, even lower level, down by the right field line where it's the Yankees, Yankees dugout, there was blotches of empty seats. They weren't even close to being full, this is bad. And why are you doing a giveaway when the Yankees are in town? You do that when it's like Pittsburgh's in town on the weekend.
You think this is the case? People coming early to the games and then getting the giveaways and then heading home, not going to the game.
Well, the giveaway is probably more exciting than the Giants.
Yeah, you get a nice Hawaiian shirt. That's worth probably $25, right? So you can also, weren't they giving away tickets 4 for $29, 4 hot dogs, 4 drinks?
Yeah, that's on games during the week, Monday and Tuesday nights through July.
4 hot dogs,
4 tickets. Yeah.
Well, shoot, you can't even go to dinner get 4 drinks and 4 hot dogs for $29. Nah. So you could just walk up if you're in the city.
I agree. I mean, I'll tell you something that's sort of crazy now. In June and July, the A's are so desperate to sell tickets. They're doing $2 tickets. $2.
Wow.
For, a game. So, I don't know what the answer is. It's just, I think the Giants are sort of saying, oh, well, we're happy getting the 33,000. Oh, we're happy getting the 35,000. But, you got to realize these are great teams. And if you notice, Yankees, Dodgers, Philly, it's probably close to 55-45 opposing fans, and Giants fans.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, you heard the chat last night. I don't know if you guys could hear it on the TV, but there was a lot of "Let's go Yankees."
Yeah, I heard it.
I heard
it.
Yeah. Alive says, who wants to pay $50 to park, pay for overpriced food, and watch a mediocre team and get your car broken into? Yeah.
Welcome to San Francisco.
Yeah. Wow. Let's see.
But again, let me ask you tonight, even though when the Giants got to 4-3, did you ever think they were going to win the game?
Tonight? No, I never felt like they were going to win. I never felt like they
I never thought last night either. That's why, I have to sort of say, hey, Yankees were plus 108 tonight. You got to take advantage being a gambler, I guess. It's the only time you're ever going to get the Yankees.
The only shot the Giants had, I felt, was when Schmidt and Ramos came up with a man on base down 4-3, that one of them might hit it out, But I didn't think they could muster a rally and get another run. I thought if they scored, it was going to be a long ball. And that can happen, at any time. Let's give credit to Casey Schmidt. Great to see him hit the long ball, hit it out. Then he went the opposite way on an 0-2 pitch to a base hit to right field. To me, that's development. That's learning, going down, going back down. Just quit making these guys like it's, they treat their prospects who are ready to play. I get it if there's better players ahead of them. But come on, you can't tell me Nick Ahmed's a better player than even Casey Schmidt. Because defensively, they're, maybe Ahmed's got I don't even know if he does have a better glove than Schmidt, but Schmidt has a much better arm, and Schmidt gives you much more potential at the plate for some pop. So I don't see why you want to play a 34-year-old shortstop who's not going to be here next year in place of Schmidt. Wisely's, he's a fill-in. He's a gap piece for a while. He's not a true shortstop. Schmidt can make some great plays at short and third, but you got Chapman. So I don't understand the farm system.
Dan, what are they paying Ahmed? Is it $7.4 million?
I have no idea what.
Yeah, so you think so? They're paying him that, and then that backup catcher that who we shouldn't have signed to begin with. We should probably stuck with Bart, but it doesn't matter when we got a stud to begin with. But who cares? It's $11 million. We have money. DF these guys, and if you're going to play the youth, the fans got to realize, hey, mistakes are going to happen. But it would be nice if we can actually get players, the youth, to actually play the position that they've been going through the farm system to go to.
That would be nice.
The guy the whole time where he was a shortstop, now he's in center field. I mean, everyone's going to have problems like that.
Yeah, I can't blow this up. Sorry, guys. This page doesn't let me expand it. But I'm looking for Ahmed. See what he's making. Nick Ahmed, where are you? I don't think he's making much.
I don't think he's barely even making $1 million, is he?
I don't think he's making very much at all. Where the heck is Ahmed on here? Ethan Miller. Mate.
I thought it was like 2 years, $7.4 million.
No, I think it's a 1-year deal.
I see him right there.
There he is. Nick, shortstop.
Number 20, line 29, yeah.
$850,000. That's it. 1 year.
Oh my God.
You can let him go easily. It doesn't cost you nothing. You've already paid him a couple $100,000. Let's see. Who was the other person we were talking about? Was there another person you mentioned?
Oh, yeah, that backup catcher that we got.
Murphy.
Line 24.
Murphy's getting, you got good eyes there, Eric. $4 million for $4.125 million, then $4 million in 25. Your biggest issues here, Solaire's only getting $10 million this year, but he's getting 16 the next 2 years. So he's got you're gonna have to probably, to get rid of him, you're probably gonna have to pay the rest of this year's salary in a trade and next year, and have the club be only on the hook for like 16 million. You've got Cobb, who looks like a $10 million just down the drain. He probably not going to be much this year. You got Murphy, Slater, $4 million, Yaz, $8 million. Look at the waste in this. Yaz, $8 million, Slater, $4 million. That's $12 million. Murphy, $4 million. That's $16 million. And then you got, I'm not going to say anything about Soler because I was for the signing. I can't go back and say, shouldn't have signed him because at the time he was the best available home run guy, but he obviously is not cutting it, and he doesn't have anybody to protect him in this lineup. So you got between those few guys, between Slater and Yaz, $8 million, and Murphy, $16 million. And then if you add Cobb, that's $26 million. You could have went out and had a really good, you could have signed guys like Imanaga and had money left over to maybe even get Rhys Hoskins. I don't understand the whole infatuation with Yaz. I get Wade, Wade is doing great as a first baseman. You could make Wade a right fielder. You can make him a DH. You can do a lot of things with Lamont Wade if you went out and got somebody with power to play first base. But, they've got to be able to – you got to spend money in the game to be good, generally speaking, but you got to spend it wisely.
Wisely, yeah. I mean, Lamont, tell you the truth, would have been our all-star.
Absolutely. He was playing at an all-star level. And I actually, though, if he comes back, hopefully before the all-star break or before the trade deadline, he should come back before the trade deadline. And if he's doing well and the team is still struggling, I would trade Wade. And I hate to say that because I love Lamont Wade. He's one of my favorite players on this team, but he will actually bring you value. You'll get something for him. Lamont Wade, let me just look at him. He is only making $3.5 million. He's got arbitration next year, and then he's a free agent in 26. Okay, so basically a club can have him for half of this year and all of next year for team control. That's where you're going to you still got value. You wait till next year at the trade deadline where he's a rental before he hits free agency, you're not going to get much for Lamont Wade. So move off of Wade because he's already 30-ish? Lamont Wade?
Yeah, he's pretty old.
You got to move him before he hits free agency. And this is the year to move him because if you wait till next year, you're not going to get much value for him.
So, I mean, there's probably only 4 guys on our team that are actually worth anything, trade value. And, we're not going to trade Webb. We're too scared to trade Duvall. You got Lamont, and then when you look around, our stud catcher, we're not going to give up, but that's really it. Nobody else. Flores can't hit his weight anymore. I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him either.
Yaz is back to his usual. I think Yaz is back to like 214.
Somewhere around there.
It's ridiculous. I mean, Dan, do you remember growing up? Batters usually were like 260.
Right.
250 was like Mark Hill, where just because he was catching, we let. Now, anyone that basically bats 220 is good enough for us.
Right. Here's
that on other teams.
Here's their
lineup. They
lineup.
go to hit 215, 220, they're DFA'd.
Yep. Listen to their lineup right here, right now. Matos down to 218, Flores 213, Bailey 298. That'll come down below 250, guarantee it. Chapman 234, Yaz 215, Ramos 278, Brooks whatever, Soler 202, Schmidt 192, and that's with 2 hits tonight. He'll be fine if you let him play. I'm not worried about Casey Schmidt because he will grow. He's not a horrible hitter. He's not going to be an elite hitter with the average, but I think Casey can hit 240 to 250 plus in this league. Wisely's hitting 355. That's not going to continue to last. That's going to, fall back. But the Giants just look. They're going to. This is what they're going to do. I hate sounding like I'm beating a dead horse. Said the same thing. I mean, Eric's heard me say this so many times. They're just going to hover around 500, and they're going to go up and down, up and down. Right now, they're back below 500 a game, and they'll probably drop a few games below 500 by the end of the next road trip. They've got Arizona and Texas, 6 not easy games. Arizona's not playing well. They're going to get going soon. Arizona's not going to stay down in the dumps. So when the Giants, and they got the Yankees tomorrow to avoid a sweep, who knows what could happen? They're either leaving this homestand 500 team or leaving 2 under, and then they've got 6 games on the road, and you got to break even on the road. So you want to go 3-3, but they might have a 2-4 trip staring at them.
And then they come home. I forgot who they come home with. Is it Houston, who's playing great ball? Yeah, and then is it the Cubs? I can't remember. I mean, their whole schedule until literally the All-Star break.
Yeah, I think it's the Cubs.
3 easy games. The rest are all very tough. Minnesota.
No, they've got Houston for 3, and then they got their 3 of their easiest games at home against the Angels on the weekend.
Oh, yeah, the Angels.
That would be 2 weeks from now. And then they go on the road to Chicago and then St. Louis, and St. Louis is playing better.
They got a better record than us.
Yeah. And then they're home to the Cubs for 4, the Dodgers for 3, and then they go on the road to Atlanta, and then Cleveland, who's kicking it, then home for Toronto and Minnesota, then the All-Star break. So I think
tough.
It's a very tough month and a half. They get a little break after the All-Star break. They go to Colorado for 3, and then they got the Dodgers for 4, and then they come home for Colorado for 4. So, and then they got Oakland for 2. So the end of the month, their last 6 games of the month are Colorado and the A's sandwich, and you got Colorado for 3 before that. So you got 9 of your 13 games against Colorado and the A's. That's a chance for the club to make a move up to the trade deadline, and they have to make that move to really, they either have to make that move to show like, hey, this is a team that's can stay in contention for a wild card, or you've got to blow it up, because you cannot say, oh, we're 5 under 500, but we like our chances in the second half.
We've heard the same thing at the trade deadline every year.
Yeah.
We're only 3 games out of the wild card. We're not going to trade anyone, even though they're not going to sign us. Eric loves the trade deadline. He gets so fired up.
Oh, yeah.
Trade these guys. They're not going to sign back with us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's
and the other thing, Dan, tonight, with Stanton and Judge hitting homers, I'm sick and tired of saying the ballpark is too big. We need to make changes.
Yeah.
Did you see where these homers are? My God, they're 25 rows up. It's not like they just got out.
Yeah. They're crushing it. Hey, there's something we need to talk about too. And I don't know what's going on. Mr. Luis Matos is
4 for his last 44.
He is not looking good.
He's in the
is
wrong
it because of the
spot in the
lineup? But he still should be hitting, right? I mean, that's what I'm talking about. The guy's I like that he wants to be aggressive, but man, there is such thing as being too aggressive.
And he's always behind.
It's one thing to be aggressive, with nobody, when you got guys on the bases, but when you're up there by there's nobody to drive in.
And here's the difference. Remember, when you're leading off, you're facing more than likely facing the pitcher out of the stretch, right? Or no, out of the windup.
Yeah.
When there's guys on base, you're facing them when they're coming out of stretch. So you might be getting them, because usually pitchers, especially starting pitchers, maybe they're not as comfortable coming out of the stretch as they are in the windup.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something there too.
And the leadoff hitter's job is not necessarily to get a hit.
Get on base.
To work the pitcher, try to get as many pitches out of 5, 6, 8.
He's not an ideal leadoff bat, and I don't know why they have.
Look what other teams do to Snell. Every time Snell goes out, he's like, even tonight with Webb, it's like 48 pitches, and we're still in the second or third inning. The Giants got to do that. We don't do that.
Yeah, exactly. How would you guys feel about trading Yaz to Boston and paying half of Soler's contract in the deal to Boston? Soler, I think he could hit that green monster. He hits a lot of fly balls that end up on the track. They're going to end up off that monster.
And is that strictly to save money, Dan?
No, that would be to get Duran from Boston as what's his first name? Jaron Duran, something like that. He's a leadoff hitter for Boston. He's an outfielder. Give them Yaz, their beloved grandson, and Soler. Pay for Soler's contract and get Duran, who is an actual legit leadoff hitter, and he's an outfielder. And then you got an outfield of Ramos, Matos, and Duran, and Yaz is gone, Soler's gone, Conforto's your DH. And now you've got guys that are in better positions to succeed. You got Matos playing, I think Duran is he a left fielder?
I'm not sure. I think he's right. I think he's a right fielder.
If he's a corner, he can play either corner. So,
but would Boston give him up? I mean, they're like 12 games over 500.
That's what I was going to say. They have no reason.
Maybe if you threw in a prospect like a Wisenhunt or something. Duran is. Let me look at Duran.
And I still love to get Chisholm, as Dan always brings up once a week.
Well, I was looking at Chisholm, and I love Chisholm too, but Duran. Let me find out. Duran is. Here's what he's doing on the year. He went 2 for 4 tonight, hitting 257, 321 on base, slugging 432, and he plays left field tonight. So he's a leadoff guy. Chisholm is a guy you wouldn't have to give that much up. I don't think you'd have to give up that much for Duran either. I don't know, but Chisholm for sure. Miami's in a sell mode.
Oh, he's going to be
great pitching, he's going to be traded. Just aren't doing much.
I mean, if Matos isn't cutting it, get a legit leadoff hitter. You cannot keep Luis Matos
in that one. No way, you can't.
You just can't. He's not fit for the leadoff. He's not that type of hitter. He is.
Lamont was the perfect leadoff guy, but
they never let him off this year.
No, they never did.
You got Jung-Hoo Lee coming back next year. So, I mean,
he's not really a leadoff guy, though.
But he's not either. No, he's not. He doesn't steal bases. He doesn't take a lot of pitches, and he hits a lot of ground balls.
Dan, we haven't had a leadoff hitter since Billy North, who was great.
Brett Butler was
Brett Butler, yeah.
And I mean, we've never really had that leadoff guy. The more I think about it, from us being fans. Even when the Giants won the World Series, I don't even know who was our leadoff hitter.
Angel Pagan, wasn't he the leadoff guy?
Angel was pretty good.
He was okay. I liked him.
He was number 3 for a while, and we had nobody to lead off.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Hey, is the link out there? Is TN still out there?
I can throw the link out there.
Hey, TN, I think
anyone wanted to come in. Come on in.
Yeah, if he wants to come, Dan, I appreciate you guys having me on. Just speaking from a fan's point of view.
Yeah, awesome, Lou. Appreciate it.
Awesome, Lou. Hey, man,
I appreciate it.
Great to have you on always.
Anytime you guys need me, I'm here for you guys. I really enjoy the show. Thank you.
Yeah,
appreciate it, Lou. Thanks, man.
We got to come up for a game, man. We got to
come definitely.
Yeah, we have to. Maybe after you get back from overseas.
Philippines. Huh? Yeah, or either that or come up the day before. I don't know. I'm flying out of San Francisco on the 28th, so I was thinking the 27th, that day game against the Cubbies, but I don't know. We'll see.
We'll have to figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But hey, Lou, always great to have you on.
No problem, guys. Thank you for everything. Thank you, Eric.
All right. Thanks, Lou.
Have a great night, Lou.
Always.
See ya.
Keep it going.
All right. the great Lou Marston.
The great Lou Marston. That was awesome.
one
I
of
liked his. He brought some really good points to the table. I really enjoyed that.
He always does. Lou knows his stuff, and he's been around. He's been around the city for a long time, and you guys need tickets, man. Talk to Lou. You want to go to a big event? If you got, a big event like the Masters or the Super Bowl, those type of things. But you got to, of course, those are big money tickets. So, but Lou's the guy you can talk to. What else we got? We got the link out there. TN, if you want to come in. I know you
I
said
don't
you
know. What's
in.
up, Mike?
Angel was a raw leadoff man. Yeah. So, it's don't leave your luggage in the car, Dan. Yeah, exactly. Alive. Yeah, I would be keeping it at the hotel.
Yeah.
Man. What a mess.
What a mess.
Jeez. You'd think the Giants, instead of worrying about all that McCovey Cove and putting all that, building that up, maybe you might want to pay for some extra security around the outsides of the stadium, and build a secure parking lot for your fans to come to, where is
Lou doing anything with the Olympics in Paris? Probably not. Huh?
I don't know. I'll have to find out. Yeah. So come on in, guys, if anybody wants to come in, because we will not stay on too much longer. So, Lydia, do we have Lydia that wants to come in? There he is.
There he is.
All right. We welcome in. Do we have do we have an intro?
I have an intro. I'm ready.
I know what he's gonna do.
Come on, let's go. Here we go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew it. I knew my sidekick what he was gonna do, man.
Wow, what's up?
You worked together with a guy for how many hours? Like,
oh my God,
thousands of hours.
We got a lot of hours. Yes, a lot of hours.
So like it sometimes it slips, sometimes it happens.
Exactly.
You're a big dude. Like,
it happens. It happens.
You turn around too quick. You stand up too fast.
Just a little tip here. For the next time, if you have to get up and turn around and leave, see that stop cam button?
Oh no. I got these hands right here. Like just the little tuck up real quick.
Fair enough.
But you can also hit the stop cam and it just
yeah.
There you go. Yeah, stop cam.
Yeah, make sure I don't get you flagged for
That's pretty good.
Hey, well, speaking of, I saw something on Twitter the other night. Somebody at a woman at a hockey game, Edmonton, I think it was. They scored a goal and she went shirt right up.
Hey.
And
oh my goodness.
Yeah, and it was a show for sure. I was like,
she had her moment. Hey,
yeah, she had her moment. I think it's gone viral. Mark Grace, TN's got his own OnlyFans show. Yeah.
Yeah. My OnlyFans sports show. I'm pretty sure some girls could do that a lot better than I could.
Yeah, I didn't even see it, man. And then they played it back.
No, it was so fast. So I looked over.
You can blame Los.
It was very fast, but at the same time, as soon as I saw him, like for that quick second, like it was definitely a very big butt crack.
Hey,
it was definitely a very big butt crack.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Hey, man. Hey.
How can I deny what I saw?
we all have a crack, right? And some have two.
Maitland Eagle, thank you for the $2. Go Oilers.
So I was looking again and commenting about the about the Giants and just like I'm just wondering what they're gonna do at the deadline. Like
Nothing.
it's so weird. It's like do they sell? Do they buy? Do they like they're in such a weird because the NL wild card sucks so bad.
Yeah, let's it is a bad year for the Wild. Let's pull that up and just take a look and see what the standings look like. Let me pull that up right now here, and we'll take a gander at it. All right, so I haven't looked at the standings for a few days. Here's the Yankees. Wow, look at them. What are we laughing at? So
Cryptic.
what did he say?
Tien was going to cover his crack, but then he got high. La 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 la
Oh.
la la.
All right, so we go back to the
confirm or deny
the standings.
You don't have to confirm or deny, my friend.
Yankees 41-19. Orioles 2 games behind. Red Sox. Who said they were 12 over? I think Lou did. Maybe they're only a game over 500. So the Red Sox, they're not going anywhere super fast. Guardians and okay, look at the White Sox. Look how bad the White Sox are. Oh my goodness. That is bad. Luis Robert, man, he's a guy. Maybe you can go after him.
But why?
Why what? Get a Luis Robert?
Yeah, like what are you trying to accomplish by that?
Well, he's a star player if he's on the field. If he's healthy, he's a star.
I understand that. I just am thinking, well, you have Lee locked up for at least 4 to 6 years.
They need outfield
shoulder surgery, but like
I think I don't think
him at a outfield position, are you?
You could play him at a corner. I'll say this: I said before Lee got hurt that he would win a batting title someday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pull that back now that he's had a second. I didn't know it was his second shoulder surgery.
Oh, I had no idea.
I don't think he's ever going to be the same.
And especially that shoulder surgery where you have that like labrum tear. Like I don't like. Didn't
they say it was significant damage in the he suffered
structural damage?
I thought they said significant structural damage.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Either way, that's not good.
There's a lot of guys that have had shoulder surgery that have not ever become the same, and so that's my thinking.
And I think he'll always be a decent like bat to ball skill contact hitter. I just don't know if his OPS will ever be really good because of the ballpark and the lack of power to all fields. I just like good defender, good glove, good arm. Like if you looked at his arm rating on like Baseball Savant, but it's $20 million a year. I just don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's quite a bit. Let's go back to the standings while we take a look at this. Angels are stinking down there in the American League West. Mariners 33-27. Phillies 41-18, and the Yankees are 41-19. So Giants facing the top 2 teams back to back. They need a win tomorrow to split to go 3-3. Braves 32-24. Brewers are kind of pulling away from that central.
Brewers, man.
Cubs are just free falling.
Yeah, Cubs
is up with the
Cubs have lost 2 in their last 2-8 in their last 10. -9 differential, run differential. Cardinals made it to. They've lost 2 in a row now that they made it to 500. They were 27-27.
Wow.
Back to the Brewers. They lost their ace. They lost their ace, and look how good they're doing.
Burns, yeah. Giants fall behind the Padres. Let's take a look at the wild card standings, if we will. There, American League. Baltimore's up 6, then the Royals, and then the Twins, and then the Red Sox 2.5. So that's still plenty of time, but the Giants are still right there, tied for third. Look at that. The Giants would be a wild card team today, everybody. 1 game under 500.
Yeah, the NL wild card is just a bunch of mid.
That's awful. And you got 5 teams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams within 3.5 of the Giants.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is like you have a bunch of. So I think the Braves are going to take
6 teams.
The Braves are going to take the first spot, in my opinion. So the 2, 3, and everybody else is kind of what they're competing for. So I think the Cardinals, they start off really slow. I think the Cardinals are progressing. I think the Cardinals are going to be probably a wild card team. Maybe.
Oh, I think your teams I think the teams are going to battle for the.
Oh, it's going to be a battle all year.
The battle for the 2 wild card spots remaining is going to be about 7 teams. It's going to be the Padres, Giants, Cubs, Cardinals. I think the Diamondbacks will be in there, and I think Cincinnati could pick it up. And if the Pirates or Nationals hang around there, it just convolutes it even more. So, but
there's just so many teams competing for so little spots, and even with the expanded wild card, it's like you got to make that decision around the trade deadline.
Yeah,
let's just say Giants are 1 game out, competing with the Padres, Cardinals, all the Cubs, maybe even like the third wild card. It's like you have to go for it, but also at the same time, is that really the best thing for your team in the future? And sure, if you have a wild card spot, you have to go for it. Like, I agree. Like, if you have the shot of making the playoffs, you kind of got to go for it. But
I mean, they will, because that's what the team's goal is. They want to make the playoffs at any, and their thing is anything can happen. But you're not the Dodgers, you're not the Yankees, you're not the Phillies, you're not the Braves, you're not the Orioles, you're not even the Astros. You're not the type of team that really is going for it every year to win the World Series. Yeah. The Giants would just be happy to get in just to say they got in, when what they really need to be doing is rebuilding the whole thing and trying to do what the Orioles are doing so that they become a consistent team that's in it every year. But they got once every 5-6 year garbage stuff, it's not going to fly in San Francisco, nor should it.
But in order to get, let's say, because what did the Orioles do? The Orioles tanked so hard. They got those bottom, they got the top first pick, top 3 pick.
Yeah, about 5 years in a row.
Sure, 5 years in a row.
Giants don't even need to go do that, because they have some players that are young enough and good enough to actually get some of those prospects to add to your pipeline. You could trade a Webb, you could trade a Duvall, you could trade.
If you want to go that route.
I do. You could trade Webb.
I agree.
You could trade Webb, you could trade Duvall, you could trade Wade, you could trade.
A lot of Giants fans do not want to trade Webb.
I know they don't. And I understand why you don't want to trade him, because he's a good guy to have in the clubhouse. He's a leader.
If you want to maximize value, you want a fire sale. You want to get rid of, especially Hicks. Like, if
I would move Hicks off too. He's got, somebody would take that deal now.
Hicks has shown, especially he has shown that he can show a little bit of length, which in the MLB nowadays, if you can go at least 3 innings, like, and you can have a really good fastball, like, you have value.
Yeah, I think it's a long process for the Giants to get well. I really, guys, I don't think you're going to see the Giants be a competitive team that's talked about like the Dodgers, Yankees, Braves, Orioles, Astros, those teams. I don't think you're going to see the Giants be at that level probably
Do you think they
until
go for it, though?
go for what? To try and make the playoffs this year?
Do you think that at the trade deadline, if they're within a few games of the wild card, do you think that they trade some prospects in order to try to win the World Series?
I think they could, just because I think Farhan's desperate. And I think the club's desperate to make the playoffs. And I think they're short-sighted. I don't like the people running the organization. I don't think they know what they're doing. And, I think I'm one of the only people that's willing to say it.
No, I agree.
I don't think they have a clue, the ownership, of what's going on.
I think it's been proven by the fact that they haven't been able to produce any sort of star player within the last 5 years of development in the Farhan era. 7 years? How long has Farhan been?
This is his 6th year.
This
6
is
year.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And
So-
Bub, real quick, I'll just interject with this before I forget this. We said that earlier that if you're going to have a fire sale, Farhan has to go before you have that fire sale.
Yes.
You can't
I think that you can have the fire sale before Farhan leaves. The only reason why is because I think that if you don't, you're going to wait that extra year.
No, you fire him now. You don't let him do it, because he's not if you're going to have a fire sale this year, you fire him and get somebody competent to make those changes, because Farhan gets taken advantage of.
I think that, though, if you fire Farhan and hire a new president of baseball operations / GM, it's going to push that decision making off until the next year, because the new GM, the new president of baseball operations, isn't going to have the amount of time to evaluate the farm system enough in order to do so competently.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can do somebody on an intern that knows the game.
Sure. Okay. If you want to hire from within and then maybe do that, maybe.
I mean, I think, I think Sabian is still in the game. He's working. He's with the Yankees now, in a capacity as an advisor or something to Cashman. So he's working with the Yankees. He's still in the game. He knows the game. They just don't have the right people in place. They just don't. They don't know. They're not going to do it. We can talk about it probably till we're blue in the face.
Yeah.
The Giants aren't going to do it.
Their strength is their starting pitching. Their weakness is their whole rotation. And then their bullpen is very hit or miss. Like, sure, they have a good closer. Sure, they have a good. I just like it's they have so much talent in certain places, but it just doesn't congru into like a great team overall.
I mean,
and that's what their farm system should have been supplementing over the last 3 years. But it's like, who have they called up in the last 2 to 3 years that have really made that impact?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people in the chat are saying stuff of like, well, why are you talking this way or going that direction?
Yeah, I'm not listening to the chat. Yeah, I don't care about the chat.
Yeah, because guys, I've been saying it all year. This is a 500 type club, and I'm not going to change off that. I said they're going to look good for a 10-game stretch. They've already had that 10-game stretch. They might have another one in them, but this is a deeply flawed team. It really is. I'm not trying to discourage people who are,
but they can get better. Like, that's the whole thing, is that they can get better, and it's like, if they do the right steps within the next 18 months to 24 months, they can be a serious contender, but that's going to take them trading for the right prospects. That's going to take them reevaluating where they are as a franchise, and it can work. It really can, but it's just like they got to realize that they just don't have the lineup, and they just don't have the
right. They don't, but they don't know that.
They don't know that. Yeah,
that's the
how do we know that? But that's the whole thing is how do we know that? But they don't know that. They do know that.
They don't know that. They don't know that. I'm telling you the truth. They don't.
No, they don't want to know that.
They don't have
they have the numbers.
Tien, they don't have the right people in place. The ownership turned the club over to Farhan, and they thought they had their man, and they thought they could just step away because he sold them all this analytical stuff, and the game was going to analytics, and they thought they were getting what the Dodgers had. They thought they found the missing piece.
Yeah, they're like, we're going to be the next Rays. Basically, they're like, we're going to try to be the next Rays with a little bit more money than the Rays, and we're going to be able to get the proper free agents while supplementing through our farm like the Rays. But the problem is they haven't been doing that. And at what point does the ownership go, hey, we just have the wrong guy at GM? Like, I understand
until they start watching NorCal Sports Network on a regular basis, or other people start saying what I'm saying, then maybe they'll start hearing it. But they're not going to hear it on KMBR. They will hear it from some guys on 95.7 The Game. They will hear it from some of the guys in the YouTube world, like Larry or Damon Bruce. They will tell you what's going on. But KMBR, forget it. Those guys are bought and paid for. They're not going to tell you the truth. The Giants ownership does not know what they are doing. They're lost. They look, when they handed over the reins to Brian Sabian, they had a man that was an alpha man who knew baseball, and had Sabes been given even a larger budget, the team would have really taken off. Okay. He was limited with what he had, and he had to stay within his means. If he had an unlimited budget, he could have signed some of those free agents. Sabian knows baseball. He knows how to treat people. He knows how to get into people's heads to make them better. Coletti, the same thing. You got a guy in Farhan who is not I'm just telling you, he understands what he's doing to an extent, but only to a certain extent. He's not up there with the elite GMs that he can outmaneuver. He can't outmaneuver him. This is why Luis Arias is not a Giant, because he didn't have his hand on the pulse, figuring out what's going on.
He's just so set in his ways. I would describe it as that. He's just so set in his ways to where it's like it's this really small market thinking where he just doesn't like. I understand waiting for the talent to come to you in the offseason, but if you wait for the wrong talent to come to you, why are you doing so? Like, if you think that Yamamoto is going to cost too much, and maybe let's say you're possibly going to, when you're going to lose out in Judge, and then when you know that certain things are going to fall, you need to pivot necessarily to a different game plan rather than just say, oh, we're going to try to sign whoever we can at the cheapest value, even though they're not the right, quote unquote, right free agents. Because like you said before, if you spend in the wrong places, like let's say sign Soler, who's not a good DH, but he's getting paid for 3 years now. You give Chapman the option to sign into those deals if he ends up wanting to. You give the people you're giving away your flexibility in the.
Exactly. You know what? I mean, we can beat this thing down, but we're going to, TM, we're going to let you run here because we've got to get a few things taken care of business-wise. It's great to have you back on the show tonight.
Thanks, Tien, man. You're awesome, dude.
We'll have you back on another time. Always welcome on the show. Appreciate it.
That sounds good.
Thanks. All right, guys. That was TN back tonight joining us. And we're going to kind of wrap this thing up here. You know, we're going to move on, and we'll come back tomorrow night, right, Eric? Night. We'll do a night one.
Do a night one, yeah, because I think the game's at what, 4 something? No.
Oh, is it? I thought it was a 1 o'clock game.
No, it's not. I think it's later, isn't it? Is it at 1 o'clock? Maybe it is. I thought it was.
Let's take a look. Yankees. It is 1:05.
It is 1:05. Okay, my bad.
Yeah. So
tomorrow evening then?
Yeah. What do you guys want to do? A poll real quick? Chat?
Yeah, let's do it. I'll do a poll. What time?
4 o'clock or 8. Vote quickly, guys. What time should we come on tomorrow night? 4 o'clock. Tomorrow, 4 o'clock after the game or 8 o'clock after the game? Let me just see something here.
Just 2, right? Just 4 p.m. or 8 p.m., right?
Yeah, 4 p.m. or 8 p.m. Answer it in the poll, please, everybody. Heroku 4 and 8.
4 and 8.
Doubleheader.
Done that before.
I think we did that last Sunday. All right. Vote quick. So.
All right. Vote is out there, guys. Vote.
See if we can let's get a majority. Let's get 75 to 100 votes quickly. That's the quickest poll you'll ever have. You get 2 choices. How are we looking? I'm not even going to vote because I have no care in that matter.
We got 20 votes, 22 votes, 73%, 8 o'clock.
Let's get that vote up to 75 votes. Come on.
Let's see.
Let
me see something here.
We only got 29 votes in there.
Come on, guys.
30 votes. Let's get that thing up to at minimum 60 votes. Come on. Roku, it's not letting me vote for 4 and 8. Oh, man. Third option, both. Yeah, we
Damn.
Yeah. One of the options might be Tenen and Chardal hosting together.
Oh!
That will be a show, man.
That would be a show.
That would be a show. That would be Ringling Brothers.
That would be something.
So
38 votes. Come on, man.
Come on. Minimum, as Gonzo says, minimum 50. 6:30 in the middle. Oh, we could have put a 6:30. Will Martinez, if they win 8 p.m., if they lose 4, so we can rant right away. Oh, that's pretty funny. We got 40 votes in the poll right now so far. How's it looking? Oh, it's not very close. Anybody got any good trades? Any good trades out there that you can throw out? I should have my trade machine up and running by tomorrow, hopefully. Let's see. So, come on, guys. I want to get out of here. It's Saturday night. I'm ready to call it a night. Where is Eric? I might just close the show without him. All right, it's 72% to 28% with 47 votes. I was just saying, you're lucky you got back. I was just about ready to close the show without you.
All right, let's close there. That's good enough. 8 o'clock tomorrow then.
Yeah, 8:00. All right, 8:00 tomorrow, guys. 72% to 28 out of 47 votes or something. That would be a landslide.
That's a landslide.
Yeah, Lou Marston says, Dan, for a leadoff hitter, make contact with the Rockies. Maybe the Rockies. I like that kid.
Have a good one, Vespa.
What's that kid at the Rockies? The third base, McMahon. I like McMahon.
Oh, McMahon.
He's a pretty good player.
Doyle's a pretty good player for them too. Outfielder.
Yeah, and Jones has been hurt, hasn't he? Yeah,
he has been.
4 p.m. New York knee-jerk reaction show. Oh, maybe. If they get swept, we might just do a 15-minute.
Do a quick one. Yeah, it's never 15 minutes.
And then it'll be a teaser for the 8:00. We'll see. Get Alonso, Ryan says. Slater to anywhere for anything.
Take it easy, D-Shot.
Later, D-Shot. All right. Have a good night, Eric and Dan. Thank you, Vespa.
Thank you, Vespa.
Yaz and Slater for Alonso. I think you might get Alonso's dog for Yaz and Slater, but I don't think
exactly.
I don't think you'll get Pete, but you might get the golden retriever.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I saw Chapman out there playing with his dog on the field. That kind of made me a little more fond of Matt Chapman.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. He was out there chasing the balls down.
Yeah, anybody who's a dog lover, he can't get on too bad. I have nothing against Chapman. I just don't think he's a great hitter. I mean, are we kind of seeing him back to what the hot streak's
He's going back.
Right?
Yeah, the hot streak's gone. Now he's going back to his old ways.
Did I kind of peg that, guys?
Yep.
And he'll go on another hot streak at some point in the season for a week or two. It happens. That's just who he is. He's back to striking out again.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It was nice for a week. It was nice.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll have another hot streak somewhere, and then he'll go back, and it's just the way it is.
Yeah, it's just it's a flawed roster construction.
Yes.
You don't have any guys that hit consistently.
Nope.
I think Matos is a streaky hitter, we're learning. He did hit 250 last year, but
it's just not optimal even last year he wasn't batting leadoff. What was he batting last year?
Down low.
Towards the bottom of the lineup. Yeah.
I think his best spot is 5th or 2nd. I really do. 5, 6, or 2. I think he's an RBI producing type guy. We saw it. He did,
Yeah.
I mean, he thrives under like pressure situations. He just might be that type of player.
Yep.
Yeah, Alonso is a free agent, shouldn't take a ton. It shouldn't. The Mets are going to have a fire sale, man. That's a mess.
Well, they're only 4.5 out of the wild card.
Geez, they get a week too hot. Look out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All the entire National League's kind of bad right now.
Yep, Hiroku, you're correct. Chapman's kryptonite, slider away, or you get him with a fastball up and in.
Exactly.
Just don't let Chapman extend.
Right.
Yeah, if he gets to extend. But all right, guys, we'll be back tomorrow night, 8:00. We'll see you tomorrow night. Thanks for joining, everybody. Have a great night. Will the Giants get swept? Yes or no? We'll find out tomorrow. You have any predictions before we call it?
Snell. We'll see. The Snell get right against the Yankees.
I don't know. The last time we both predicted a sweep, we were wrong. So
yeah, exactly. But it's Snell, though.
Yeah, I'm not going to make a prediction. Then I'll just wait a minute, guys. You want me to put the Yankee hat on again? How's that look?
Oh boy,
how's that Yankee hat look with black?
Yankees are classic, man. There's probably not clean. A better logo out there. A better logo out there.
Hey, man, I like this hat. I really do. I like most of my hats. Let me ask you this: of the New York hats, which one do you like better, this one or this one?
Oh, I like the Yankees one. I like the
Yankees.
Yankees one. Yeah.
I think the Yankees is really cool because it's navy blue, right? It's kind of
Yeah.
not black. That's navy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very dark navy.
Yeah, I
But
like it.
even just looking at the New York Yankees uniforms, it just
Yeah.
screams old time baseball. It shows greatness. That's greatness right there, man. Woo.
Yeah, it is. Miss that in the old time Giants. Didn't the Giant? It's their road uniforms that say Giants across the top, right? Or is it the home?
The home it says Giants,
and the road says SF.
San Francisco.
Oh, San Francisco.
Yeah.
San Francisco's got some classic unis too.
They do.
Yeah. No, I'm not a Yankee guy. I'm not a Yankee fan at all. I'm just a hat collector. That's all, guys.
You can appreciate the organization.
Yeah. Anyway, Judge hits another homer tomorrow. Yes or no?
Ooh, against Snell. Yeah.
He's hot.
I think he does.
He's hot right now. I think
he does, man. And he's, you know what? Keep booing him, fans. Keep booing him because all that's doing is feeding him.
He's loving it.
Feeding him.
Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. Love it. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.